it's me Denise from Active Worship. Welcome to our vocal tutorial for Active Worship. It's going to be interesting, but first off we're going to start off with some warm-ups. I'll give you tips along the way every week, of certain warm-ups and exercises you can do, but right now we're just going to fast forward, okay? You guys can watch me or you can do some by yourself. Let's go. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the Inception song from the Inception album. It is awesome. It was written by Active Worship as well as Tando Ngandu, who is an awesome vocalist. So this song is really nice because it's got a little bit of highs and a little bit of lows, and we've also got our harmonies that are going to take place a little bit later, which I'll show you. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go through a verse and a chorus, and I'm going to show you how to sing it. And then later on we'll do the chorus again, but then we're going to do our three parts, alright? Which is your alto, your soprano, and obviously the lead parts, okay? And we're going to cut and paste and we're going to show you just how to do it. Alright, let's go. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the verse and the chorus, and I want you to hear as we do the verse how you go from one note into the other during the first part of the verse, as well as a little bit of a step in the second part of the verse. I'll show you with my hands as we go along. We're gonna start. I'm leaning in closer, I'm paying more attention. You said you know the plans you have for me are good. And louder, I hear you speak. Fear is running away at the sound of your voice, and faith there's sin. Did you hear that step? I'm going back to the original. I'm going back to the Inception. Going back to rulership. You spoke over me from the beginning. In pursuit of who you made me to be, I have a new reality. Let the anointing pour out as my praise goes forth. We're going back to the start. I hope you heard that. Start. So that was the verse and the chorus of the song. The second verse is pretty much similar to that. Alright. So we're going to get into your different vocals in the chorus this time. So I'm going to do the lead first. You've actually heard the lead already, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to then do a second one, which is going to be your soprano. This is the one that I actually do on the album. It's really high, so some vocals may not be able to carry it, but we'll get to the alto a little bit later, done by Kayla. I'm going back to the original. I'm going back to the Inception. Going back to rulership. You spoke over me from the beginning. In pursuit of who you made me to be, I have a new reality. Let the anointing pour out as my praise goes forth. We're going back to the start. This is the alto. I'm going back to the original. I'm going back to the Inception. Going back to rulership. You spoke over me from the beginning. In pursuit of who you made me to be, I have a new reality. Let the anointing pour out as my praise goes forth. We're going back to the start. This is the soprano version. I'm going back to the original. I'm going back to the Inception. Going back to rulership. You spoke over me from the beginning. In pursuit of who you made me to be, Okay, great. That was Inception from the Inception album, and that is it for today. However, there is just one little small thing more. I'm going to give you a tip for today, which has got to do with a little bit of, you know, vocal exercising, getting your vocals up to scratch, and we are going to learn about that right now. So I'm going to give you a tip every single week, and let's see how it goes. You give me your comments, you tell me what you want to know. Any questions in terms of vocals, I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Okay, so today's tip is basically your breathing. What is the most important part of singing besides using those beautiful vocal cords that you have, the beautiful voice? It is actually your breathing. Your breathing is the one that sustains those notes. Your breathing is the one that actually gives you really, really good skin, by the way. Breathing is really, really important. It's a really important part of our day, our daily lives. You don't breathe, you don't live. That's the thing. So we're going to show you a little bit about breathing. So I've been asked, or should I say, I've been asked, and I've also asked other people how they breathe, and that's the first thing I do. And they normally go like this. Or that, my friends, is all wrong. You see, we actually have grown into this little bit of a bad habit, as we normally do as humans, which is not really good for us. Breathing should actually come from the very bottom of your lungs. There is something called your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a really important muscle when it comes to vocals, and it's a little muscle that sits just under your rib cage, or sort of by your rib cage, under your lungs, and it actually supports. Your diaphragm is the most important part because it supports your notes. It supports your breathing. So we're going to show you today how you should be breathing. So you're not supposed to be breathing with your upper part only, because that's not the only part you have. You actually need to be able to use your bottom part of your lungs too. So I'm going to show you. This is going to be kind of weird. So if you can see me, I don't know if you can, hopefully you can. Here is my diaphragm. And this part of me is actually the one that's supposed to be going up and down, not my shoulders. So not like that. It's supposed to come from here. So I want you to see, I want you to watch my stomach as it goes. So you're going to go. So it's actually not even your stomach that is moving, it's your diaphragm. You see, the whole action is almost like your diaphragm being a balloon. It actually, as soon as you breathe in, the diaphragm starts to go down like that. And all your lungs, the whole bottom parts, upper parts of your lungs start to get filled with air, and that helps you to sustain notes, to hit the right notes. So it's really important to make sure that you are breathing correctly. So a better way to do it is actually by laying on the floor. This is actually a way that I was also taught. Lay on the floor and actually start to breathe. It's more likely that you'll breathe with your diaphragm than it is with your shoulders. So that's the tip for today. You can go take a listen to the full song on the Inception album. It is a fantastic album. You can get it with Active Worship as well as other music platforms. It's all going to be at the bottom of the screen as it comes up, as well as in the description of the YouTube video. Hope to see you next week for our next vocal workshop. Booyah!